All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we are here. It is showtime. I am here with the one and only Bekka Prewitt. Let me tell you something. Before I even started getting into all of this, I hit her up. I was like, will she respond to me? Will I get a response? Will I survive with my man blood intact if she does respond? and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We made the moment happen. If you haven't done so, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and share the stream out. It really does help us reach more. And let's have a good show. I have the wonderful Bekka Prewitt, who is the voice of Bela Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. She's also voiced a few other characters, apparently, and I didn't even know of, so we're going to get into that. Shout out to whoever just subscribed. Welcome. Do me a huge favor, hit that bell icon. You won't miss anything. I appreciate it. So, Blaze 4K will be here momentarily. He's getting off work, so he'll be here. So I'll be adjusting that empty slot very soon. But until then, we're going to get right into this. Bekka, how are you? Thank you for coming through. I said this like 40 times. When literally, there's a counter by my name. I said this like 50 times, but seriously. Here's 51. Bekka, thank you so much for coming through. How are you?
I appreciate it every time. It's really sweet of you to say. Well, I'm happy you invited me, so thank you. It goes both ways. Although Blaze, I don't know. I mean, if he's party, Bekka's okay with it. But Bela, I don't know. He may have to, incur some of Scythe wrath or some man blood, donation of man blood to make it okay with Bela.
He'll be here. He's not going to miss this. He was talking about this more than me. He was like, no way. So he's definitely going to be here. But until then, I'm going to start this off with the first question just for you. First of all, Bekka, tell us about you. What got you into acting? I have to know this.
That's a good question. What got me into acting? I'm a dork on the inside and out. And when I first started, it's probably changed, but when I first started, it was just fun to be goofy and fun and silly as a kid. I started this when I was a little kid. But I kept doing it and stayed with it. And it became very early on a heart cry to be able to reach people on a level that my mere words wouldn't. For example, I can say something to you and you'd be like, okay, some girl, told me this, whatever. But when you say something in a video game or in a film or in a TV show or a voiceover, when you're saying something as an iconic character or any character, really, stories have presence. We are, as humans, love storytelling. We live by it, right? Through our own family histories, through the shows that we watch, we love story. And it brings points across better than my mere words could. Because these artists have crafted everything from the aesthetics of the show to the writing of the show to these hopefully brilliant characters. And so you get caught up in it. And it's a way, if you're an actor, to communicate on a level that's deeper. You get to encourage people, make them laugh, make them smile, convict them, challenge them, make them think of things in a way maybe they hadn't before, expose them to something they hadn't known about before, give them different perspectives or cultures they may not be a part of. It's just a way to touch people on a level that me just talking to you right now may not.
Wow.
So I love the idea of reaching people in a broader spectrum than
Okay.
So that's why I act.
Wow. So was this always a dream ambition that you ever wanted to do? You always wanted to act, or was it something else that you ever wanted to do?
I started acting when I was really young. So I was I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid. I've been acting for decades now. I've been in LA for 11 years now, but I started acting when I was really little. And so, it's just something I enjoy doing. They say though, if you are good at anything else, don't act. Do anything else. It's like the craziest profession, just because so much of it. Hopefully you're training and you're a skilled and talented person, but even if you are, there's no guarantees in this industry. And so, but you have to have some chutzpah to keep fighting for it. You and I were talking before this started. It's about paying your dues and keeping at it and hoping that at some point you get that break.
Perfecting your craft.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Some people do get it, just like, they walk into a restaurant and somebody saw them, they scouted them and they book it. But some people will work forever for decades and then never book a big job. It's the luck of the draw in a lot of ways. So I just talk to God about it all the time and do the best I can. And then we'll see what God and what comes my way. So.
Wow. Okay. And I noticed you have Mocap, and I was wondering about that as well. Would you say the same thing applies to Mocap for the characters that you play, or it's a little different?
Meaning getting the work, or
getting the work side, so to speak.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is, this industry is a lot of who you know,
right.
Frankly. And, I moved to LA and I didn't know. like, didn't know anybody. So, you're starting from scratch. Even though I had worked for years in Cincinnati, Ohio, thank you, the Natty. No one knew me in LA. And
right.
they would say things when I got to LA, like for example, I done voiceovers for like Lean Cuisine and Nationwide and all
Lean
these companies.
Oh my God.
Lean Cuisine, right? Target and like these companies, right? And for example, I took this voiceover school. I wanted to get all the training I could get. And so I'd already been doing voiceover for years, and I was a disc jockey and a radio news anchor and had all these credits. And so when I got to LA, I was in this pros class for a company we won't say the name of. And they were like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, you have these credits. Yeah, you can work on our working pros class. I'm like, great. And I said, oh, who were you with when you got these? I was like, I was in Ohio. And they said, oh, they don't count in LA. You have to go to the amateur class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's, welcome to Hollywood, people.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you can do voiceover from anywhere on the planet. Yeah, it's there, anywhere you go, there's a hierarchy, and, people have, their pompous systems sometimes. And so you have to start from scratch a lot of times. So I think any area of the business is the same way. I think voiceover is, I've been told, at least, it's the hardest to get into, because celebrities do, like, used to be like, TV actors would do TV and film actors would do film and voiceover do voiceover. Now it's like the film actors do everything. And so, you have like the stars doing their own voice on animation, and they're hiring stars to play roles, and the film actors are now doing television. So it's like for those of us who aren't celebrities yet, it's harder for us to get the roles, because it's like, I remember one day I was on a Nationwide shoot. I was modeling for Nationwide. And they were talking about needing a voice actor. And I was like, oh, I do voiceover work. I would love to submit my demo reel for your consideration. And I'd love to audition for you. They said, oh, honey, you have Julia Roberts. Oh. Yeah, Julia. Okay, well. Yeah. Okay, well, if she has an off day and wants, okay, well, bye.
That's two options.
So it's, I think anything in this industry, like you have to really want. If you don't want it, pick something else. If you really, right? Yeah, if you really want it, then have that fire and keep at it, and maybe, and maybe you'll get, because it could happen at any time. Again, like I said, like in a restaurant, you could meet somebody and then boom, they're the next thing, or you could spend forever. So if you really want it, it's worth it. I would say mocap wise, I actually found I found a lot of my mocap work actually on actors' breakdowns, meaning they send out things to actors. You pay for these websites, and the higher level projects usually aren't visible to actors. Only the lower level, because the agents can see and the managers can see the higher levels. And so I constantly have for 11 years been submitting to the lower level projects, because that's what I can see. That's what I pay for. But I actually found several of my mocap projects, because I did performance capture, which is basically mocap, and voiceover for Bela on Resident Evil Village. And so I actually found that online on one of these acting websites. I knew the casting director because I had worked for her previously on a breakdown on these websites as well.
It came full circle, basically.
Yeah, it did. Wow. Years of auditioning for this wonderful woman, Rosanna. And she's like, oh, Bekka, hey, you want to come in for this? I'm like, yeah, I do. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, yeah, I do, because I love her and I knew she does good work, and Rosanna-san. And so I was like, please let me audition for this.
Wow.
But a lot of it is, I think it's any part of this business, it takes a lot of chutzpah.
Right. You might say it was destiny at this point. The way you described it came full circle. You were destined to play Bela. There you go.
Yay!
I gotta ask you about the Bela thing too, the mocap. So when it comes to mocap, especially with that opening sequence, you're not talking about with the stairs when Ethan goes to the door and he kind of like can't open it and you all appear with the flies around you. I gotta ask you, how exactly how did y'all manage to hit that shot? That's crazy, like how it happened.
Well, it's definitely blocked out beforehand. We actually, that was the only day I worked with my castmates.
Oh yeah.
And you meet, like, well, actually, some of us were at the table read, so some of us didn't meet, but no one knew who each other were. Like, we didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know your parts. Like, you didn't know your character's names, basically. Okay.
Exactly. And so, like, we found out our names, but it's like, I'm Bela. Who are you? Like, you're Cassandra and you're Daniela. I didn't realize, like, it's like you're figuring out, like, are we related? You know what I mean? Like, what's happening, right? Because you're reading it. But then the first day we actually worked together was that scene that you're describing. And yeah, you show up and I didn't know anybody. They suit me up, you know, and so I walk out, you know, they go in and, they already have my sizes and everything. So we're suiting up and I'm getting on my wedge heels because we actually had heels on because, they want us to have the correct posture that we would in these gowns, right?
Right.
So we were in the gowns. We had, the groovy black, mocap suits, but we still had on like wedge heels. With these outfits and all our markers and the face camera and
I saw Maggie had the hat. I was like, wow, they even threw a hat on Maggie for this mocap.
Yes. And I think when I first scam I did, they had my legs taped. They put tape around my legs, like from one leg to the other, because I was going to be in a skirt, and they didn't want my legs moving wider than I could in a pencil skirt. So yeah, they do things to make sure you stay in the specifications, which is great. It's helpful because then you won't step out of bounds, and then you can play with a hat, and like move it around like you're something, like Wow. I think Neil had something too, for his hat. But yeah, so you walk out and there are all these actors. You're like, I wonder who's who.
Wow.
You sit down, you're like, hi, I'm Bekka, but yeah, they blocked it out. So it's like, okay, we're going to be coming in one at a time, rotating in. And so they blocked it out for us. And Todd, Todd's only played Ethan Winters, like such a good sport. I see
never see his
laid
face.
there. I know.
Never see his face.
But you know who he is. Like, he's been around. You've seen his face.
Yeah, I thought that weird though, especially when you look at the figurines in the game. It's like, oh, here's Bela, you see her face, you see everything. Here's Lady Dimitrescu. Here's Ethan, blacked out face. All about, I'm like, okay.
His hands.
Oh gosh,
he got the hands. But he's great though, because like he allows us to lay that, because he's on they ended up putting him on a cart, so kind of like a gurney kind of cart.
Oh, the
so
dragon.
When I hit him, yes, because I'm strong as Bekka, but may not have like quite the guns that Bela would need, or the superpowers to actually like grip him and yank him and
to be fair, she had a weapon though. She had a weapon, to be fair.
Yeah, she had a scythe. Yeah, I had a scythe too. It was plastic. And not exactly pointy, but and he had a rope around his leg. So the way we did it is I would walk out, and we all come out, we're laughing,
Right, you
and
all peer. Yeah.
Yes, out of the flies. And then when I make my way to him, and we've blocked out where I'm gonna hit, and I did it most of the times, not every time. Maybe I've missed once or twice, but and then they ended up putting a hook, like that I would hook onto to be able to pull the cart, because I was actually
for the
pulling
leverage,
the cart.
right, for leverage.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Because I didn't really want to hook into his leg and like yank him and
right.
him sue me, So I hooked to the hook with my scythe, which is like a plastic device, and pulled him down the volume. It's called the volume. The space is like a gymnasium kind of area. It's called the volume.
It was pretty big. Yeah, it wasn't a small condensed area for us.
Yeah.
Because I saw Last of Us 1 back when they first shot that game. It was like a small condensed area, it looked like, at Naughty Dog. And I was like, yeah, you guys have like a lot of room for this shot. So I was like, I was really, really excited they did it.
Huge.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was that a one shot, the dragging of the scene, or was that multiple takes?
Oh, yeah, multiple, because we went through so many scythes. Ryan, there were so many scythes. Well, no, because they were like wobbly. Like we had this scythe and it was like a foam like material. So when I would hit him with it, instead of being like, it would be like, It looked less than intimidating. And I'm like, this isn't working. And so they give me another one. It was more like this going down. And so, they were trying to craft the right device, because if it's, they ended up doing harder plastic, because that it would stay still when I whacked it, But harder plastic means I kind of nicked, Todd in the leg more than once. Maybe I think just once, actually. Once hard.
No, wow.
Because you're trying to get it right every time, and eventually, you slip, so.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that's how they do that.
That's crazy. Nah, because I was going to ask, because when you drag him into the Lady D's master quarters, I guess, her main room, how many shots did it take for that, where you're all kind of there, you're all, you're basically tormenting Ethan at this point, saying let's devour his man blood and whatnot. How many takes did that take, especially when Margaret, I forgot her name already, Maggie does that turn and goes out the door? How many takes was that?
It wasn't that many, believe it or not.
Really?
Because we're also because they plan everything in advance. We actually had Todd hooked up onto he was literally hooked up.
Oh, he really was hooked up.
Yeah. So we probably couldn't leave him strung up there forever. So maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, so when I actually, went to him, because I'm the one that cut him. You see my hands more than me. Right. I would cut him so Mom could, fuck him up. And so, because I'm the one who captured him, Ryan. And so one of my lines, right? So I cut him and held it up.
I love that that's just your natural voice, too. That's what I love too about that.
Thank you. So yeah, we only did less than a handful of takes, if I remember correctly, of that. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 tops. Yeah, and we went there because they also have so many shots in limited time, and then Capcom Japan has flown in for this, and so you have to get through it quickly, it's fun. You're in your pajamas and all with markers on your stuff, but at the same time, it's a huge team of people that you do not want to let down. So it's playtime, but it's also let's nail the playtime, because I want to be working again.
So would you say it's more difficult for mocap versus traditional acting, would you say?
No.
Oh, wow.
There are elements to mocap that make it challenging, yes. Because you don't, the world around you, you don't see.
Right,
you're in a space and you're creating with your imagination. I guess it depends on the type of actor you are. I think a lot of us who do video game work have great imaginations, and we're kind of crazy.
Okay. So you got picture. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can go there, I can, to me, it's more freeing in a lot of ways, because I'm not, I can be anything more than, like I've mentioned before, I can be a fairy, I can be a witch, I can be a gremlin, I can be anything, I can be 2 feet tall, I could
be the Mother Miranda old woman thing, whatever that's supposed to be.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yes, I could, Ryan. I could. But you can do old ladies, and you can do little kids who are going on walks with their grandma, and the grandma says, "Sit down. I told you to sit down." So, you can do anything. You could, maybe not as much men roles. I can't do exactly anything, but I can do range from old to young to sinister to really innocent and sweet. To I told you, you go there again, Ryan, and I'm gonna have to sick bail on you. I've warned you time and time again. What are you talking about? Ryan's a sweet chap. He's wonderful. He's caring. He's kind. Now Blaze, we don't know Blaze, and he's already late, so maybe he is the one we'll pick on the
Somebody
most. But
clip
you can
this for future reference. Somebody clip this. It's gonna be my ringtone. I'm literally, it's gonna be my ringtone. I promise you.
But it's you can change it up, So it's freeing in a lot of ways to do work as an actor that I may not get picked on. Maybe they wouldn't pick me to be a monster, and I can be a monster. Maybe they wouldn't pick me, to be an older woman or a really young child, or, Tinkerbell, oh, you're too old for Tinkerbell, or you're too tall for Tinkerbell, or whatever. I can do different things. So it's kind of freeing in a lot of ways. I wouldn't say it's harder. It's different.
Right.
And I guess it could be harder depending on what you're doing, though.
Right,
I guess,
course,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nailing the scythe was a little more challenging than on a normal day. So yes, Ryan, I guess you've made your point.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, it's a lot of takes. You know, you don't see what you have. Like, I got asked, did you even know what your player model was going to look like, so to speak, when you started doing the voice? That was another thing too. I was like, does she even know that she's covered in blood? All of you all have this grotesque blood, dry blood on.
No.
So I didn't even see your player models at all.
Yeah, we saw. Okay, so I didn't know what my character looked like until we were doing performance capture. And so by the time I was doing voiceover, I think I want to say I did performance capture. I'm going back in my memory now. I want to say I was doing the mocap and the PCAP before I did voice. Because the first scene, the ones that everything we described is what we shot first, and so then we did voice later for other lines in the game. So when we did that, we all saw our characters for the first time, but they didn't really have faces.
Also, just blank faces, all body, basically.
Yeah. So we saw that they were in dresses to the floor, and we all had different colored dresses at the time. We weren't in black. So each of the sisters had a different colored dress so that we would know which one we are. So when we're seeing later, like we're watching the dailies, we're seeing it go, we're like, okay, I was purple. And so, I could say, okay, that worked. This is what I did. Okay. And they could follow like, Bekka, what are you doing? I mean, they knew it was me because I'm in the purple, you know what I mean? So it's probably more for them to see, okay, Bekka's in the, this color. So if we don't like what she's doing, it's her.
Wow.
Or, oh, that works. She spun around correctly. Okay. That's Bekka. Well done.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
Oh wow. So did they have like a specific requests in terms of how like the voice they wanted for the character, or did they just say wing it? Because how did you prepare for this at all?
Yeah.
For this role?
Well, voice-wise, okay. So when I was called in originally for a witch, which turned out to be the vampire sisters, but we weren't told vampire.
Yeah, you weren't told.
I was actually table read, right? And so for Mother, I actually auditioned for Mother Miranda as well. I got called back for Bela. And I also I got called back for the Witch Sisters, not told which one. And I also got called back for Mother Miranda. And
wow, that would have been a treat. You as Mother Miranda.
So so I ended up doing like several auditions for the different roles. And but for Bela, because she just seemed to really enjoy toying with her prey, and like to me, like I wanted to make her. Actually, we auditioned for all three sisters, so I crafted different characters for each of the three. Like when I auditioned for Daniela, I made her just like a spoiled brat. Like she's the youngest sister and she wants her way. I made her kind of like, like easily frustrated. And then I made Cassandra kind of what she turned out to be, which is like just, sadist kind of.
Oh, wow.
And then for Bela, she's the eldest. So I wanted her more in control and but still really enjoyed what she does, and so I'm like, oh, I kind of like, I created my own voice. I choose my own voice for her because she's the most like me. I'm not sure I want to say that, but it was easy to go into her, like her power and her sensuality and her strength, and I just thought, because you do different voices, but you also utilize your own for the characters that fit.
Right.
And then I think Mother Miranda, I did a little variation as well. But when I got cast, like, what do you like? They said, we like you, we like yours, like do you, do your voice. And so, so I didn't like that was happy. That was fun. I was like, oh, I get to do my voice.
Wow.
So yeah.
So were you aware of the flies, the powers of that whatsoever?
No.
They just added that later. You were just like, okay, I'm so witch. I'm probably just gonna walk.
Yeah. Well, we were told, like, at that point, we were like, okay, yeah, like, so these flies, like, you're actually like going to turn into flies at different points and turn back. Well, they said insects. I'm not sure they said flies or insects, but I call them flies now.
Yeah.
But you're gonna turn into these insects and then back out of these insects into human form. We're like, huh.
How's that gonna work?
Yeah, I'm like, all right. So we didn't exactly, we didn't have to like buzz in or anything. We weren't running around like, anything crazy. We just knew that the amazing Capcom animators were gonna make this look really dope, and they did. Thank you.
Oh, wow. So I gotta ask you, what was your favorite part about being on the cast?
Favorite part? Well, just being in Resident
part of it.
Freaking Evil is my favorite part. Like, it is such a blessing. It's so humbling. It's definitely the biggest thing I've done career-wise. I mean, I've been acting forever. I've done, indie films and TV and voiceover for a long time, and theater and modeling and hosting, but my heart is with performance when it comes to voiceover and performance capture and film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll do the others. I'm happy. Oh, and commercial work, I've done that. So it's like, but this is by far my most rewarding. And it's not so much of it is because, yes, Resident Evil is iconic. It's the Village is their top grossing game in their 25-year history. It is an honor to be in such a beautifully crafted game. It's so well written. The aesthetics are gorgeous. It's just so well done. And it's, as an actor, it's like to be in a quality projects that are well executed. Quality projects that are well executed is like actor's dream, and it's like, that's, we pay our dues, like starting out and training and doing whatever we can get, and so, and it's such a dream in itself to do quality work. And then for it to blow up like this, we had no idea it would.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. But one of the biggest or the coolest things about being in this are the fans. They have been so kind and so loving, and there's communities have been built. I have my own fan club, and one of my lines, Ryan, as you may know, since you've played the game, is Ryan. I don't say Ryan there, but it's like, where are you going, little one? And so they call themselves Bela's little ones.
Oh, wow.
And yes, isn't that the
cool.
coolest
That is
thing?
cool.
And there's a Discord server.
Really?
Yes, there's
look at that. See, look at you. Look at you. Look at the impact
so
you made.
They're caring for each other, and they're loving to each other, and they encourage each other. And it's been beautiful to see, because when I was doing live streams, we did live streams, as you'd mentioned, with Nicole and Maggie. Nicole, Daniela, and Maggie, Lady D. And then I did live streams that are solo, signing prints as well. And they created the name, and we kind of did a stamp of approval on it. And they would talk and share their hearts, everything that they're struggling with and things they're going through. And it's been a beautiful experience to kind of live some life with them and try to be encouraging, and them tell me their hearts. And just, it's been really beautiful.
Everybody's shocked at how well you're able to change your voice on the fly.
I didn't warm up today, so sorry if that was a little stressed. Yeah, that's the best I could do.
It's funny you mentioned the fans and how good they were, because you showed me a certain prop that you were saying. She showed me that. This is how crazy it is, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look how cool that is.
Look how beautiful. Yes. I mean, they send the most amazing things. This is H Oracle. H Oracle made this for each of the Dimitrescus, including Maggie, Nicole, and I. And it's like, you can see, like, this is the house crest coming out of my face right now.
And I see the flies, the little flies.
See the flies. What is a girl without her flies, right? And so they send, some of them have sent the coolest things, and like, they're so artistic and creative, and yes, and I have it decor in my bedroom, because I don't even drink out of it, really. It's just pretty.
Yeah, there you go. It's for cosplay. You want to cosplay?
That's right.
Which I did see your cosplay, by the way. Yeah, it was crazy.
My modern Bela. Thank you. So people were like, why didn't you do blonde hair? I was like, well, I didn't do anything that Bela did exactly. I modern dated. Like,
there you
that
go.
was the scoop. It was a little bit different,
There you go.
Other than the tattoo, I did the exact tattoo.
Yeah, you definitely nailed the look. It was crazy. How well it looked. So I gotta ask, were you nervous about playing Bela in this game, or were you just you were like set, you were ready to go, no feels?
I think I'm nervous before everything, Ryan.
Really?
Well, I'm more nervous before auditions. Once I have the job, there's nervousness there, because you don't want to let your client down. You want to do well for them. So it's that nervous, like, I want to perform well so they get what they need, but the nervousness is, for me as an actor, it's so much during the auditions more than anything else, because it's like, the challenge is getting the role, so there's so much on the line. Once you have it, you're like, oh, good, they liked what I did. So there's more confidence going in to, like, to the job. But for the audition, like, you could do a million different things. Right. And you just have to make a stab and guess, this is the one I'm bringing to the table. And hopefully they give you direction if they remotely like you. And you can nail what they're looking for. But sometimes it's just a matter of, like, are you guessing do you like, do they like what you bring, your version of the story? And all you can do is do your best at what you feel the character is. So yeah, I was nervous because it's a game, but I was also just so excited.
I mean, you're part of a legendary franchise at this point. It's crazy. You're now in lore, which is even more awesome. Happy for you because you're part of lore. And I was telling her about this. Shout out to new subscribers. But I was telling her about this before we even went live. I was like, guys, Resident Evil Biohazard did not scare me. That first section when we got into the castle and we run into her and her sisters and Lady D, that kind of really started to, that started to mess with me a little mentally, especially when we were playing, when we got to that little chase sequence when we opened the door with the eye and you're like, just teleporting all over the place. And I'm like, okay, we're good. And then here you go. You're in the dungeon. We go up the stairs and then I think I got away and then that jump scare, you're just standing there like, where you going? You just pushed out the door. It's like, where are you going? It was so good. It was so good how they did that.
Good. So you're welcome.
So, I gotta ask you though, how do you feel like were you all told the order on which your characters were gonna be like eliminated, I guess, or taken out at all? Also, you didn't know that you would be the first. See, that shocked me that you were the first. Personally.
It shocked me too, Ryan. It shocked me too.
No, because I thought you were the second one in the main hallway with the door with the little the opening. I thought that was you in there. I was like, wait, is that her? Wait, no, that's not her. It's the first one. I was like, whoa. Yeah,
it's really, if you don't pay attention to like the necklaces, and it's hard because you're fighting us. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to see who's who at some points. I mean, we have different looks, but when you're being scythed to death, you're not really worried. Which is this Danielle or Cassandra? Like, you know what I mean? You're just trying to live. So, we're all in the same outfit. So it's easy to not know who's who. Eventually, if you go through it enough, if you let me live a little longer, maybe you would know it's me. With the red, I wear the red necklace or the red choker. But yeah.
You all had like your own subtle cues with your character. One was bratty, one was more in for the hunt. That was your character. You're in for the hunt, and of course Maggie was just more menacing. So it was like you all had different layers, which is why I appreciate it. So I gotta ask yourself this though: do you see yourself working with Capcom again in the future? And if you do,
I hope so.
If you do, because the reason I asked is because Nicole Thompson, she played Jill Valentine. And the one prior, and then she came back. She's playing Daniela, right? Daniela. Yes. So here you are playing Bella. Do you see yourself maybe in like a remake or something? I'm not setting that up. I'm just saying, maybe future reference. You play a character. Will it be a pedestrian or something? Do you see that?
Well, Ryan, let's get Capcom because you interview developers. So get Capcom on here and ask them if they see Bekka Prewitt as some other character in
Everybody, I need to see franchise. Bekka in the chat. Everybody put Bekka in the chat. Let's make that happen.
Yes, I would love to. I'd love to reprise Bela in a prequel. I would love to play another character. I would love to play another character for Capcom. They know I love them. I hope they do. I do, Capcom. But so I don't know. Like, write them. Say, we love Bekka. Hire her again. I have very little to do with that. I wish I had a lot to do with it, but it's,
you
hopefully
definitely
at some point,
you played another role, which shocked me. I didn't even know you played another support character, which was in the baby section, the dollhouse.
The doll.
I did not know you played a doll. That was a little shocking. Wait, which doll was? Do you know which specific one? Or
well, they label us by numbers. I'm doll A. I'm the creepy doll A with the cackle and the yell and the scream.
The cackle and the yell.
Well, I mean, all of them are kind of weird.
They kind of all sound. They all kind of sound like weird. Yeah.
But I'm not Angie. Just to be clear, if you're watching, that's Paula Rhodes. But Angie's in the creepy
Angie's
dress
the real weird, twisted one. Yeah.
But I'm just one of the other bizarre ones. Yes. It's fun. They get some of us do multiple roles, and that's always a blast to be able to come in and just do voice for that.
It really does sound like you just had a blast, and that's really, really cool to see. Like you just had an experience that's uncanny on the set of this.
It's super fun to get to play make-believe as an adult, like who else gets to do that but actors? And especially it's most accessible in performance capture and video game work, which is why we love it so much. We get to play with our imaginations and go wild, and it's such a blessing to be able to be a part of something that cool.
All righty, okay. So I got to ask you, are you more interested in horror roles now? after this game, like auditioning for them.
For what? Sorry, say that again.
For horror like
for
roles.
horror.
Yeah.
Roles. Yeah. Is it horror rose?
Yeah,
I was like, what's horror rose? I was like, I don't know. Am I? Should I be, Ryan? Roles. Yeah. Because I I think it's fun for me to play villains. And
you want to be menacing. You don't want to be that sweet girl. Well, she wants to be menacing.
I would be happy to be a hero as well. Like I would happy to, play, an iconic hero. But it's fun also for me, it's like I was talking before about somebody else about doing, like things that are in what are called our wheelhouse as actors, things that we naturally, some things you have to really work and try to figure out how to be that. And some things like are naturally crafted organically in us. Like it's easier to come into them. You have to work for everything, but it's just something that's more natural to you, versus something that's, takes a lot more effort. And some crazy is kind of a natural. and like sultry vixen is kind of like the villain, it's kind of a natural. And maybe it's because it's play, and maybe it's because in normal life, you try never to be nasty and hurt people. And so it's like, it's so extreme to be able to go to the other side. It's like being, it's like unleashing this part of yourself that you would never unleash in the real world, because that would be a horrible, heinous person that should go to jail. So it's fun to do that, and because it's part of the story again, because every good story has the antagonist and the protagonist. The protagonist, you want to win. And so they have to have a force come against them. And I love just being a part of that story, so we can all cheer in the end when you live and you beat the dragon of Lady D. Oh!
Which was hilarious, by the way, because a lot of people did not want that to happen, by the way. They wanted her to be the poster girl. And I was sitting going, yeah, I was shocked. A little shocked by it. I was like, wow, we went through all three of the sisters, including Lady D, in first 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
I honestly was hoping we would just keep showing up as flies. That we would just, whenever you almost killed us, Ryan, we would be like, we would disintegrate into flies, right? Fly away, and then come back in another area. I wanted us to keep appearing.
That kind of seemed like the idea, right? Because I know you played. I think it was Bella. Bella was in the Maiden DLC, right? If I remember correctly, she was in the Maiden DLC.
Yay, she was. Yeah, I was so excited.
Right. I do remember that. Yeah, you were in the Maiden DLC, and I was sitting going, can I not kill this woman? Because I'm shooting and the flies are going everywhere. And it's like, she keeps getting closer. Like, okay, I can't kill her. Right. And then I run through the hallway and I get bit. So I was like, yeah, this is pretty telling. I can't get past this woman. And it's like, I won't last till dinner. It's like, okay, I'm going this way. And then that demo ended. So I do get it for sure. Now, I got to ask this. Where is my notes here? So are you heavily into gaming at all?
Oh no, I'm terrible.
You're terrible.
Yeah, it's hilarious to watch. Like, in fact, Andy Norris, who plays Donna. It's like, oh, you got to come on my stream. I'm like, you just want people to make fun of me.
That's it. Like everybody's been streaming. I've been seeing all three of you streaming your game.
Well, I think none of us. Oh, I shouldn't say none of us, but a lot of us are not expert gamers. Right. We love creating the story. We're actors, but I mean, gamers are amazing. Like it's like, okay, so I had an ex with like a 6-year-old nephew. He was like better than my ex, who like was a big, huge gamer, because it's like muscle memory. Like he's doing this so fast at 6 years old because he's like been doing it. So when I do it, not having done it, I'm like, oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. Hey, here, take this. Get me past this level. Okay, thanks. Let me try again. Dead again. Like it's like, so I just don't, I'm not quick enough. I would have to literally like stop auditioning for a while and just really devote some serious time with it, because I'm that bad. And I think anything that you have a skill at, like gamers are very crafted because they spend hours working at their craft. This is their thing. Right. And what they're good at. And so they spent the time, they put in their 10,000 hours. I have not.
Wow.
And that's why I suck.
Wow, that's
but
crazy.
It's a skill. It's a skill.
It's crazy because I see you doing the live. It was on YouTube, so I don't think it's on Twitch anymore. Right? But it was on YouTube. It was the live signings, the little picture signing you guys done. I was going, wow, they're all gaming for one, because I seen Nicole Thompson playing it, and Maggie was like overlooking it while she was playing. I was thinking, okay, maybe they all played it. They all looked at their player amount. So I know you looked at your player amount in that section. You were just like, Yeah, I don't know. They probably made me a little too scary for this section. Did you ever feel like that?
Well, no, I mean, when I actually, it was weird to kill yourself when I got to me. You know, it was like, oh, I wanted to let me live as long as possible. I was like, did she say anything else? Oh, if she doesn't die, because like you die, if you kill her really fast, then the lines are done. So I'm just like, and it wasn't hard for me to let her live a long time because I just couldn't kill me. I was bad at it, but eventually, I did kill. I did kill her. Me.
So did you all have to like stand still and strike poses to do the death scene? Is that how that worked for?
Yeah. Basically, the death scene was actually one of my most fun scenes to do. So,
okay, as a first.
Yeah. Okay. So it was interesting. So Capcom. Okay. So, the directors are there and Capcom's there, and so for that they had the image created of what it was going to look like, the room. Mm-hmm. And so I knew my lines, and I had to watch the monitor as this faceless character. Like I was moving her body, right? So they had this faceless character coming in the room as me. So I would move into the room, and I was controlling her because it's mocap, right? Performance capture technically. And the window would break at a certain point. So basically it was all timed out. Like Todd had already recorded, and so I had to watch the monitor, and as I walk in and listen to him, I have a certain amount of time to say a certain amount of lines before the window crashes, and I turn and react to the window crashing and get out my other line. So I'm trying to act as I'm watching a monitor and break things are
like
breaking. Yes. And so I'm like, first couple times, I'm like, just play it several times, because I'm like literally trying to plan out how long it takes me to say the lines. Like, then I got to turn, because do I see it first? Do I hear it? And then I have to react, and then I have a second to, so it's literally very, very, very like choreographed in my mind. But I'm just standing by myself. There's nobody else shooting with me. It's just all me. So, but it was fun because the first time I did it, I took the direction I was given. And I, as an actor, you have your own ideas of what you think would be good. And so they're like talking amongst themselves. So I was like, can I do something else that I would like to do? Is that okay? And they're like, no. Yeah, go ahead, And because they were like, they weren't like, I took the direction, but I don't think they like were thinking that line, And so I did it the way I wanted to do it. And they're like,
that's it.
And I was like, I want to do it again. But I was already dead. They went with it. So I was like, okay, we're done. Bummer. That was fun.
Were you expecting your character to turn into like a monster at any chance? Like Lady Dimitrescu? Were you expecting that? Or were you hoping for that?
I'm just hoping to continue living. I didn't, the flies were the new information. So, and I didn't even know that there were actually more flies than human, that, they manifest the three women
kind of like experiments,
the castle. Right? Yeah. Like I didn't know any of that. Like we didn't know anything.
Not even
about
the backstories. Wow.
No, we learned so much after Maiden was released. We're like, oh, okay, it's coming out. And then after the game was actually released, people started putting online information after the fact.
Oh, like backstories for each sister? Yeah.
Well, not like, just for like the whole castle and like how the sisters came and like just all the backstory of Mother Miranda, everything. So I was literally like, oh, that's the game I'm in. Like, no idea that I was probably changed, and then that's why I turned into flies, and I could manifest into a human form, and it was actually probably not the girl, but the flies were actually the person I am. I had no idea. So yeah, we learn a lot after the fact, because it's very NDA protected, very non-disclosure agreement. Yeah. So, but yeah, even we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, there's like extra content, believe it or not, that's like hidden in the game. Like for example, when you actually defeat Bella, her character, if you go to the staircase, you'll see Lady Dimitrescu standing there, and like I think it's Daniela will like appear, and then she's like, Lady Miranda, Lady D tells her to go get him, and she's like, what have you done to my daughter? And she'll start going around, and you'll see extra detail. It's like there's so much they put into this game. It's unreal for what they've done here.
Agreed. It's like stories within stories,
It is like there's so many layers that I just it was Cassandra. I'm sorry, Cassandra was that. But yeah, I agree. There's a lot of layers to this game. What was I about to say here? Oh no, 1 second. So, how do you feel being a part of what many gamers would consider one of the best Resident Evil games of all time? How does it make you feel?
Like, so grateful. Like, Ryan, when I got this game, like I've been trying to get, in a Resident Evil game for many, many years. And when I got in this game, I was like tears. Like I literally got on my knees, like, thank you.
Wow.
And like tears. And I didn't even know it was going to be the top grossing game. I just knew it was a video game and I knew it was Resident Evil, And actually, no, I didn't even know it was Resident Evil when I got booked.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know the game, even at the table read. We didn't know what game we were in at the table read even.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I knew it was a major video game, and because I know the casting director is dope and awesome and wonderful. And so I knew it was a major video game, and I was just so grateful to be able. It's like winning the lottery when you get cast in a major thing. I mean, if you get cast in several, then often they'll start, you start getting more and more and more. But especially getting the first one, it's hard to get auditions in general. And even after you book one, it's hard to get auditions in general. And so it was just a glorious moment of huge amounts of gratitude to be in this.
Wow, look at that. See? I don't know how I missed this question, but I guess I think you answered it, but I'll just throw it out there just for the sake of throwing it out there. Did you have any prior experience in theater or films?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah, so I started acting when I was a kid in school, and my background was all theater. And then through high school and then college, theater. And I think, honestly, if you're an actor, so many people want oh, how do I become a star? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not either. So don't ask me. But you should get training. And I tell people, especially for young people, parents especially, are like, oh, I don't know. I think my kid should be an actor. Like, well, get them into theater because it's free. Like a lot of times, if their school has theater, you may pay a small amount for a t-shirt or something, but and if they hate it, then you wasted no money, but I think but so many of the best actors are trained theatrically. They're thespians who have learned the craft of acting. And it's a beautiful way to start your learning process because you're live, and you learn what it takes to work with a team, everything about script development to script analysis to being able to carry a live show. Show must go on. You mess up, you got to figure out a way to keep on going and not mess up all your castmates. It's a beautiful training ground where you have a teacher there guiding you through the process. So yeah, I did a lot of theater, and then in high school and college, and then I started doing on-camera work. I was a disc jockey. I was a radio news anchor. And while I was hosting an internationally syndicated music video show called The Zone that was in Europe and Africa and Asia. So I was an on-camera host, a video. So basically a video, it was a music video show. So it was like a VJ, so video jockey, as well as doing voiceover with my radio shows. And then, so that was after college. And then I started doing on-camera work with commercials and then indie films. And then when I came to LA, and I was doing commercial voiceover as well, came to LA, I was able to expand it into animation, and which is obviously video games and cartoon world, and as well as TV, because there's not really much animation or television that shoots in Ohio, Cincinnati. But they have a lot of commercial work and hosting work and commercial voiceover. So yeah, so I went from theater and built. I just added through the years. So yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you guys go. Now I'm gonna start a little bit of friction with this question here.
Ooh.
So I don't know if Maggie comes at you, or I don't know. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I'm just
okay.
It's a question.
So are you nervous?
Who is your favorite co-star from the game?
Oh!
Yeah. There you go.
Oh!
I had to get her.
Man,
guys.
you're causing trouble, Ryan. You're causing trouble. Woo! Well, it's funny because I know
You are like sisters. It's like a sister, right?
Well, I know all of them after the game. I didn't know anybody during the process. In the voice booth, we're alone. I'm recording all my lines by myself. There's no Todd, you know, Ethan. There's no other characters in the voice booth. And so I didn't get to know them that way. And I like the mocap of the performance capture days, I'm only on there for a hot minute, you know, like working with them. And a lot of the scenes I was alone again. So I really didn't know, like, you know, a lot of the scenes that Todd didn't need to be, like, you know, the death scenes, and he wasn't even there. So I'm just recording, or I'm doing PCAP by myself. And so I didn't get to know these lovely creatures until after the game. I got to know Maggie and Nicole during our signings.
Wow.
Yes, that's how I got to know them.
I thought you got to know them during the whole shooting of the main scene. I thought that was happening.
Like I met them, but it's like you go in and like you're shooting and you're basically focused on the job, and I don't really talk to them. I talk to Todd, to Ethan Winters, right? And so we're all laughing and giggling together, but I'm interacting just with him. And so I didn't really interact. And I just say something to Mother, like, Mother, I bring you fresh prey. You know, but I'm the one who captured him. You know, there is some talking to them, but not a lot. It's mostly performance, and I'm in character. So I didn't really get to know my mother and my sister until the trio signings for our print on Twitch. And then I got to know Katie and Andy. After that, we did a con together, a convention. And I got to know them in preparation for that, because we have a print of the three of us together now. And so I got to know them. I'm just getting to know them now. And but a lot of us at the rap party is where we met everyone. The rap party, which was online. We did it like I think on Nicole's Twitch. I'm like, oh hi, I'm Bekka. Nice to meet you. Hey, what's up? Like, hey, like none of us, like a lot of us didn't know. No, a lot of us. Some of us like were in Biohazard. I wasn't. It was, I mean, that's right. Sarah, and then Paula and Katie were in Biohazard, and so they knew each other going into this. And Todd, they knew Todd, obviously. And so, but some of us like never met until the rap party.
Yeah, I was shocked by like when we go back to like Lady D's character. I was shocked there was two people who played that. I thought it was just Maggie who did everything, and it's like, oh no, there was an actual face model, right? Face model who did everything else. Yeah.
For all, well, no, the face model doesn't do anything but the face. Meaning,
she doesn't do anything.
She doesn't act at all. She doesn't
just like
do
does
the capture.
She doesn't do facial capture.
No, no, we all did that.
Okay,
they only take the picture. It's only the picture. I had a everyone has a face model. So if they use their photo and their face, you know, like they look at their face.
Kind of like modify it, basically.
He had done facial capture before. They probably like did a lot of photographs of them and had them like move their face, you know, like they looked at them. But the acting, all the facial expressions are Maggie's. All the facial expressions are mine. Whoever the performance capture and voice actor, that's us. But it doesn't look like me. It doesn't have long red hair. It has shorter blonde hair because her. They put her beautiful Romanian face on Bela, you know, and the one who does Maggie, her gorgeous, and these are just gorgeous women, right? So they use their face, their likenesses, so they look like those models, but the acting is all of us.
Yeah, like y'all bring them to life. I mean,
again, they had a facial camera on us.
Right. I was telling her earlier, guys, I don't know if y'all saw the thumbnail for the show, but if you look at that thumbnail and you look at her face, it's literally identical shot to shot. It looks exactly the same so many ways. Especially when you turn your head, you can see more of the resemblance. It's there. So that's why I was like, wow, this is so good.
Well, that's a big compliment because she's gorgeous. They picked some beautiful, beautiful women to capture for the look. But yeah, we had the markers and like, you know, the facial camera on us. So they were like, they had us do all the crazy, like make faces, you know, and then like be angry, you know, be happy, you know, they modeled it after our facial expressions. It's our acting, but it's their beauty that makes the characters work.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, obviously, again, going back to the game, you know, unfortunately, Bela doesn't last too long in there. She's like there for about 20%. I know, heartbreaking. But even though she's gone for about, you know, after the 20% she's in here, she does leave an impact on this, on the viewer and the game. And it just, it's cool to see that it means so much to you and that you, it's really like stuck with you. That's awesome to see. Like a lot of people, you know, I've seen when they have roles like this, they don't really go back or, you know, like really appreciate them in a sense. but it's like all three of you, especially in the autograph signings, I just see so much chemistry, so much love, which you all three of you do, and I love seeing that. It's really, really cool to see. So
I'm so grateful to be in a game full of just incredible performers. Maggie and Nicole, I mean, they're just absolute sweethearts, and they're so fun to be around. They're generous, and they're so talented, as is all the cast. Like, everyone I've met, like, you know, Andy and Katie and Paula, everyone, you know, Neil, everyone, Todd, it's phenomenal. Like, he totally forgave me when I hit him in the leg, you know, like, just amazing. I mean, there's everyone, like Brendan, like, just everyone who was in this game, you know, and, you know, Shelly, everyone, like, I forget the name of Mother Miranda. Oh, what's her name? Carol. Like her name, but like everyone is so talented. So
I just forgot for a second. Yeah.
I just went out of my head. Was when you're on the spot. That's when your brain decides to go.
Yeah, happens all the time. You have the name, you have the face. Like, I can't remember the name.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone's so gifted and so talented. I'm sure I left somebody out. Like every single person. Oh yeah, Jesse. Everyone. There's so. Aaron, like, you know, everyone's so gifted, so talented, and it's been cool to get to know them afterward and to get to, like, you know, live some life with them, and you know, it's been a blessing. I feel like I haven't been part of like a theatrical project in a while, meaning theater in general.
Right,
theater is such camaraderie, you know. There's such a you know, and it's probably like that on long-term films. It was when I've done films that you're shooting for months. And TV shows. I haven't done long-term on a TV show, so it's probably like that as well. This video game felt like that after the fact because we got to do signings together and work together, and now we're doing cons together. And so it feels like we're kind of a family, you know, and it's really beautiful.
I like hearing that. I love what you just said. You're like a family. And I see that, honestly. It really does come out on stream. All of you, you're all in character, whether it be Maggie just saying, thank you, my daughter. Sweet, I bring you fresh pins. I've seen all that stuff. I was like, okay, this is hilarious. They're just having fun. They're literally just so grateful for the roles. I'm like, we need more of that in the industry. Seriously, we need more of that. And
agreed.
That is so cool to see. So let me ask you this again. I already asked you who's the best co-star. So let me ask you who's a better gamer out of all three of you.
Oh, that's
of all three of the ladies.
That's gonna be Nicole.
Gave it up that fast? She said Nicole.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Joe Valentine.
She started doing. I think she said she started really doing a lot of Twitch, doing streaming there with gaming during the pandemic, during COVID, when it was you know, at its height, and so she's I would say of the three of us. Sorry, Mags, but I would say Nicole is probably the best gamer of the three of us.
Oh, you fit. Oh man, she threw Lady D to the wolves. See, she said Nicole. You saw live.
Both my real mama and my Lady D mama.
There you go. Man, so I gotta ask this right here. So since the game is done, and you know we're gonna get a sequel and all this stuff. If there was a horror game, actually, what would be your dream project to be a part of?
My dream project in general?
Yeah, dream project in general.
Oh, I love fantasy. So I love Lord of the Rings. I know they don't cast a lot of that.
She loves Lord of the Rings. Okay.
Yeah. My number one is fantasy. My number two is sci-fi. So if I could, you know, like do anything, I mean, I want to be an elf, you know, like you know, hang on, I want to hang out like Legolas, you know, I want to like, you know, talk to Arwen and, you know, Gladriel, you know, I just, you know, that's my thing. That's what I really love to play. And I think I'm a good fit for it. If I can just get an audition for it.
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Lord of the Rings, you're doing a TV show. I know I'm not based in the, you know, UK or New Zealand or Australia or anywhere, but it's like, hey, I would love to do this show. But I'm also a big sci-fi nerd, so I want to be on Picard. I love Star Trek, and and I'm a big fan of DS9, which people don't appreciate Deep Space Nine. But TNG, The Next Generation, is my second favorite after DS9. And so I watched Picard. I'm an actor. Right now, there's not a lot of money flying around. So I was like, but I'm going to buy CBS All Access because Jean-Luc is there.
Oh,
and I have to get me some Jean-Luc. And so literally I'm like, I have to do this. So I got it so I can see, Picard. And I really want to be on that show. I wanted to be on Mandalorian, badly because that was like I love
that's how you do. That's how you
Mandalorian.
do Star Wars. Yes, that's amazing. Yes. That's
That
amazing.
is how you do Star Wars.
Yes.
Exactly, because they have screwed it up a lot.
Oh, that trilogy. Oh, we don't even want to talk about that trilogy. Ooh.
No.
Starts off strong with Kylo Ren, then it just go.
And so I stopped watching. I'm like, this is terrible. And so I was like, oh, Mandalorian before it came out. Like, here it's going to be good. I was like, yeah, I've heard a lot's going to be good.
I watched the end for Carrie Fisher because, we lost Carrie Fisher. I was like, how are they going to handle that? And we got to it, was like, yeah, this is not it. This is not it. This is not how you end a franchise. It's not good. But, yeah. I would love to see you in personally.
It's not there. Oh, what? What do you?
I would love to see you in the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That would be great.
I would love to see it.
That would be cool to see you in right there. Or, Jedi Fallen Order. If you like fantasy. How about what's that game called, I guess? It was Hogwarts School. It was that game, Hogwarts Legacy. That's the name. That would be cool if you want to try to be a wizard. Why not be a wizard?
I would be a wizard. I would love to be a wizard. I would pick Star Wars above that because, it's my heart. But I would still do Hogwarts. I mean, I love fantasy, so it's like in sci-fi, and that kind of combines, both when you do Star Wars, because there's so much more than just meets the eye there. Yeah. Okay, everybody, let's write all these companies.
Oh yeah, EA. That's EA. There you go. There you go. I would love to see you in Star Wars. I don't know, the situation in horror. I mean, we're getting Dead Space remade. I would love to see maybe Dead Space 2 remake if you'd be interested in trying out for that. That's another great game.
I'm an actor. We want to work.
There you go.
You give me the audition, Ryan. I'm gonna audition for you.
Some of your ideas to throw at you. Mandalorian. I mean, obviously Mandalorian. You ever considered the MCU? We ever interested in the MCU? The Marvel Cinematic. The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I didn't know
Marvel. Sorry, I thought you knew.
So it's like, Marvel versus DC, and somebody told me, actually, my best friend and trainer said, no, I think you're more DC girl. I was like, the darker verse. I was like, But I'm so sad. They already named a Poison Ivy, so I'm like, choice, Poison Ivy, but they already picked one. And they also picked a Galadriel as well, and I was like, man, just give me an audition. Yeah, that's the hardest things in actors, getting the auditions. But yeah, I would absolutely adore playing a superhero. My former coach and friend, Chris Williams, it was Black Lightning on the CW, so it was a dream for him to be a superhero, and it's also one of my dreams. So maybe someday God will gift me with a superhero role. Would love that.
You like Batgirl? How about Batgirl? Got the red hair. Look like Batgirl.
They already have a Batgirl. They have two Batgirls, one left and one they have another one, right?
Yeah, true. That's true.
Hey, but it goes around. Eventually they cast another. But then they often cast, very, very young as well. So it's like, 22. I'm like, I'm not 22 anymore.
I was saying, like the possibilities are endless. I think I saw Ashley Johnson in Avengers 1, the first Avengers 1. Okay. She was like on the reporter, so I was like, you
I
don't
want to play a reporter.
I know you want to play. You want to. I know you want to be a badass.
I mean, that Black Widow, she's a redhead, and that's I'm like, what the heck, man? I mean, I've been a reporter in real life, actually. So it's like, I don't want to play one on TV. I want to actually. I mean, I would do it if you give me the job. I'll be like, okay, but I want to play the one who saves the reporter.
There you go. Who would be your dream character you would like to play?
Dream character. I mean, any elf
superhero.
Would be a
superhero.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for years everyone's been telling me Poison Ivy. But I mean, when I was a kid, I loved Wonder Woman, but I'm not the look of Wonder Woman because I could be one of the, I could be from the Amazon. I could be like one of the,
well, they
one of her sisters.
They always alter her
Wonder
look.
Woman is jet black hair. Yeah, but she always has jet black hair. Like Gal Gadot. I mean. The most beautiful woman on the planet is Wonder Woman, so I can't really, So maybe I could be like Robin Wright Penn. Like she was, Robin was like, one of them, So I could be one of the sisters. So that would be fun.
Yeah, be doing the Olympics, the little running Olympics day. Maybe you could be that. There you go. That was an opportunity. Yeah.
But yeah, I let's see what other. So I mean, I want to be every comic book hero.
She's like, going through so many.
I'm literally thinking through them. I'm like, I could, I could dye my hair. I mean, I probably would wear a wig, or I like cut it short and then wear a wig. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll buzz my hair if I have to for a role, but like, it better be V for Vendetta or something cool like that. Though. Like, I'm gonna like, it has to be like something underrated. That's gonna be like, right?
See, that's
so
an underrated
good.
film.
I mean, Natalie Portman, also one of those beautiful women. But yeah, I'd rather be like on Thor's line than Natalie Portman's character of. I mean, I would play that too, But I want to be the powerhouse Ryan. But I'll be the love interest, If you offer me a Natalie Portman type role, I'll be happy to do it.
Oh man, see. Yeah, see, that's why we love this woman. She's so awesome. She's awesome, man. I tell you. Golly. So I already said Star Wars. I already said Marvel. So, another role I could see you in. Are you familiar with? Are you familiar with Hellboy? The movie Hellboy.
I've seen, I think, one of them because there's several. Aren't there?
Yeah, there's three. There's three. I don't count the third one. I only count the first. I only count the first two.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad. It's so bad.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
want to count
I think the same thing happened with the Marvel Universe as what happened with Star Wars. They're churning them out.
Yeah.
I've been saying that it's been really hectic right now. It's like I'm churning out auditions, and a lot of them are not like huge ones, but it's like they're quick paced, right? So if you churn out a project like Star Wars or Marvel, it's not going to have the art as it could if you're crafting a piece of art. So I think that's one of the reasons it started like dwindling in its excellence, let's say. So yeah, I think some of them weren't so good, and that's, like if Hollywood puts out what people buy, and they think, oh, they love trilogies, oh, they love to see the same characters over and over because we develop a loyalty to them.
True,
but
or they'll push certain things.
Well, and they push that because that's what they keep. They're like, oh no, we don't want original content. We want to keep pushing what we know the fans will spend money on. So it's about the money. So if they thought, the average viewer would go see this independent film or that independent film, they would put money towards it. But they're like, no, we know they'll go and see Avengers because they've gone to see Avengers and they're going to keep going to see Avengers. So we're going to keep putting them out. And so that's true of all the things that they're doing repeatedly. And that's a lot of the Marvel universe. So some are better than others, and but I would still love to be a superhero regardless.
See, she doesn't want to be a bad guy no more. She wants to be a hero.
No, I want to be both. I want to be anti-hero. Ryan. I want to play both sides.
You want to be that anti-hero?
Yeah.
No, was that the Winter Soldier? Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They had that show. You can definitely like to see you in. That'd be awesome to see you in.
Be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of roles you can be. You can do great, and I know. Guys, I'm out of questions. I see. Went through these naturally. See, she was nervous going into the show.
Though. It was a good run. I wasn't nervous.
You were nervous.
It was a good run. He says I was nervous, but I've done a few. I used to be a professional interviewer. Do you know this?
And that being said, it counts.
And so I did that for a living. So yeah, it's different to be on this side, but I'm a talker, and so I get nervous for auditions because there's a lot riding on them. But interviews not as much. And you're so sweet. You made me feel comfortable.
Nah. Well, I gotta ask you this: who is your favorite actor of all time?
Oh, of all time?
Of all time.
I can't.
Hey,
yeah.
No? She can't answer? Wow.
Yeah, not just one. I mean, there's so many incredible actors. Man, yeah, I can't name one. I have to it's like naming, I guess if I was a parent, it'd be like picking your favorite child, It's like,
it's not like that.
It's like,
it doesn't have to be that hard. Picking your favorite child.
I mean, there's first thing that came to mind was Morgan Freeman. I love Morgan Freeman, but I love Kate Blanchett. I like Kate Winslet. There's so many good actors. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis, so good. I used to love Johnny Depp, but there's just there's so many amazing actors. Like it's hard. It would be hard for me to just say this one. Although I have to say that my two favorite actors that I know personally are Cress Williams and Eric Lang. I think these are they're incredibly talented men, incredibly talented actors. If you don't know them, Cress Williams and Eric Lang, and they've been blowing. Cress has been blowing up for years. He's the one I mentioned before, and Eric's been blowing up now. He has a show on Netflix right now called Cherry. But Eric I've known Eric since since college. We grew up like in the same hometown, and Cress was my personal mentor and coach, and they're fabulously talented. And
that's awesome.
If you don't know who they are, you should watch their stuff. Just IMDb, look them up, see some of their stuff. They're so good.
I'm gonna have to reach out to this guy. Maybe get both of you on.
Get them on. Yeah, Cress Williams, Eric Lang. They're so good. So good. It's like ERICLANGE, Eric Lang, and then CRESS, Cress Williams, just like it sounds.
Okay. We'll definitely we'll write this down. We'll make this happen. Shout out to True Virgil. I missed a bunch of your super chats to everybody in the chat. For some reason, OBS wants to be extra, so it didn't give me your. Well, actually, no. What am I saying? It did give me your super chats. 1 second. It should. Yeah, it did. Okay. So True Virgil, he dropped the $2 super chat. He said she would make a great Poison Ivy. I do see it. I do see it. I do see it. I do see it.
Why did they cast someone else? Because I didn't audition for it. I would love to have, but yeah.
Nah, man. See?
Maybe someday.
Oh yeah, opportunities are everywhere. You'll get it. You'll get it. Got one from Sean. I'm just gonna say Sean Holdren. I dropped that $2 super chat. He says, "Hi Bekka, my hopes and my best go with you." That's what he said.
Thank you so much, Sean. Mwah.
Let's see. The Sonder Child dropped a 5. Says, "What are you buying, huh?" Just something an old friend used to say. Basically quoting the the little seller.
That's awesome.
And I think, yep, that's all of them. That is all of them. So there you guys go. I got your super chats. I just want to say this real quick. Shout out to everybody who came through. If you haven't hit the like button, go right ahead and hit that like button. Seriously, this was a treat. Bekka, we made the moment happen. We made the moment happen. Seriously, we made it happen. I was sitting there geeking out the whole time. You know, she was sending me a message. She was like, "Ryan, what is RGT?" I was sitting there going, oh crap. Let me make sure I get back. I was like, because I missed your messages. I was like, wait, I got one message, involving the thumbnail. And I was like, okay, let me send her that. And I was like, wait, I missed 2 more. I was like, oh no, let me get back to this. Let me fix this. I was missing all the stuff.
Good. We did it. That's all that matters. We're here now. We made it happen. Success to us.
Definitely. This was
fun. Talking to you. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. And hello to all the fans, and I love you all. Mwah.
We definitely got to have her on again. Maybe this time Blaze can make it. I mean, he had to work, so hiccups.
Words for Blaze. Oh, Blaze. You can't escape me, Blaze. I'll find you in the end. Ryan, I will make him help me to get you, Blaze. You haven't heard the last of Bela Dimitrescu.
Guys, we're clipping this. I need y'all to clip this.
Blaze and Ryan blood. It's a good thing there's a camera and a screen separating us. Until next time.
You heard her, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys, everybody who came out. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview. If you are watching this on demand later on, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, share. Again, the lovely Bekka Prewitt. It was a treat to have you on here. Who knows? Maybe next time I get you on here, we can have all 3 of the sisters have like a reunion. That'd be awesome to have a super show, all 3 of you. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
two sisters and mama.
there you go. There we go. She can answer to mama because, she dodged the question, people. She dodged the question. I have one more super chat, and I'll shut it down from Big Mike, my good friend over at the Platform Podcast. Shout out to Primetime. I see you in the chat as well. We're live on their channel, which is the Platform Podcast, on Saturdays at 2. And, of course, on Fridays, I host my show, the RGT Podcast. So this right here was essentially going to be Friday show, but we had to schedule it for a different time, so it's fine. So this is kind of like a light episode, but hey, it ended up being one of the best episodes. I tell you right now, I had too much fun talking with this lovely lady, let me tell you. Shout out to Big Mike, though, $2 super chat. He says, we need to let Bella have her way with Blaze 4K. Oh, no. There you go. You guys be good, man. Thank you guys again for showing up. I appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm out of here.